one.
I've used this too as like a getting to know you thing at the beginning. So like it forces kids to be on teams and working together right away. So you can design more like fun questions. Good way of like getting to know students.
Anybody else? How did, like with that race thing that you were showing, was it like they then each get the question on their computer?
Yes.
Okay. And like you created that quiz.
I did. Some of them I do.
It is nice with that feature too. They can kind of work at their own pace.
Yeah.
And that, so it does allow that for, if you and your partner need a little additional time, so no one feels rushed.
Yeah, and math teachers, you can use superscripts, subscripts. There's an information under there too. Forgot to mention that. It's not as user friendly about that, but at least it's an option.
I take pictures, like I'll write out a problem and write out the multiple choice answers and take a picture of it and put that as the question sometimes because it's just so much easier than typing it.
I think the only thing you can't do is a video. I think you can do pictures, you can do the equations, and then just regular text.
All right. Thanks. All right. We're going to talk about clickers, and there's all my things. How many of you have never even heard of these things before? You don't even know what this is. Oh, awesome. This is so good. I hope you enjoy this. All right, we're going to do two questions first. So basically what this is a card, and you'll recognize there's A, B, C, and D on that card. And based on what you think the answer to the question is, you want to hold your card facing up that direction. So like if you think the answer is C, you want C to be on top and hold that card. You're going to hold it out to me, and I'm going to collect data without you having to do anything except hold this card out. So we're going to see what this looks like. I've got two questions for you. Oh yeah, sorry. All right. So you can see all your names are up there. When you see yours fill in, that means I scanned your card. And I know, Mark, then maybe you could hit the lights on for me. So here's your question. What is your favorite Chicago sports team? You'll recognize that all four important teams in Chicago are represented up there right now. And I am going to scan your cards. So if you see yours pop up, that means I got you. Actually, plot twist, I'm just taking video of all of you guys looking like this right now. All right, a few of us aren't here, obviously. So look at that. I scanned all of you. I hit a little checkpoint on here, and now I have access to all of this data. What all of you selected, who got it right, who got it wrong, etc. I can show that up here, or I can choose not to show you if you were right or wrong and just look at what people put. So, for example, I can look at this graph and I can see our results. 4 people said Hawks, 2 people said Bulls. The majority of us were correct and put the Cubs, and some of us put the Bears. Now, you still don't know what the right answer was. So there may be instances where I don't want you to know if there was a right answer or what the right answer was. We just want to look at, hey, what did our class think? Right? But then, of course, I can show you what that answer was if you want to see, hey, yeah, look at these are the people that got it right and wrong. So now I know who's been paying attention. All right? And I usually don't show that slide right there, right? You don't want to be like, oh, you got that wrong and I got it right or something like that. But then you'll see on here, hey, let's see. All right, so there's one question, and we're going to do one more. And this logs all this data as well. I have access to this at any point. So here is the next question. The Hogwarts staff just placed the sorting hat on top of your head. What house does he shout out? A, Slytherin, B, Gryffindor, C, Hufflepuff, D, Ravenclaw. It's really cool doing this actually because all your little names pop up as I get you. All right. Got you all. And here, let's see. Wow, everyone thinks they're Gryffindor. That's so not true. I can name at least 3 Slytherins in here. Just like that's true. I think I'm a Ravenclaw. That's just me. But this is one right input. There was a right answer because there isn't really a right answer. So it's really just a means of having this conversation, right? And just something like that. Now, this is not something I would do in my class because I teach math and not history of Hogwarts or whatever it would be. But kind of fun, kind of cool to look at, obviously. You get lots of data. So I do this a lot as like a question at the end. And a lot of you are thinking like, well, what is the benefit of doing it this way when you could do Kahoot or Socrative or just an exit slip? or whatever. But there are totally some benefits. I don't know how to play this.
Present. Top right.
Okay, don't use Google Slides ever. All right, so the biggest thing is that it's accessible to everyone. Your students don't have one-to-one devices, right? So this just turns something like a question like that into a lot more fun, and they don't have to have a cell phone. You're in a low-income area where kids don't even have their phones, or even at York High School, I would bet 2 or 3 kids in every class don't even own a cell phone, right? And we're in like a very affluent western suburb school, so that just like you don't have to call kids out who don't have that, and I think that's a huge benefit. Other thing is like little kids. Like I think of elementary school, it's relatively easy. They make large print cards, C, A, B, C, and D on here. And for the most part, like they can pull the card up, I would assume, right? And they don't have to be pressing buttons or typing in or going to a website or anything like that. It's as simple as keeping this in your folder. Hey, take out your card, A, B, C, or D. Instant class and individual results to the teacher. You can display it to the kids. It's super easy to set up. Not so much that I'm not even going to show you how to do it. If you want to do it, you can go to plickers.com and set up an account like that. I think it connects with Google as well. You can add your roster by, like I typed in all of your individual names and linked you to a card, but you can like grab what Power School or whatever and import it. You can copy and paste the list in there and it assigns it. You can have classes as well and like have kids in multiple classes, super easy. Biggest downside, multiple choice only, right? There's no extra thing. There's no type your own answer in or anything like that. So in a class where you have difficulty writing multiple choice questions or they're just not as telling, maybe it's not something you want to do all the time. But oftentimes I'll write a multiple choice question on board and have like 4 answers and like with tons of exponents and crazy stuff, and all they need to know is A, B, C, or D, right? They don't need to see those answers in text form. You can just write it out or you can project it however you want. There's a video on here. We're going to share this with you. So if you want to look at how to set up Plickers, which I really don't think any of you would have to do this, you can click that video and share it with you. But that's that. There's Plickers for you. Anything there? Yeah, sir. What's up?
Just one thing, because I have used it and like being the teacher thinking like, oh, these cards are gonna get bent. Like if I reuse them, I tried laminating them. Do not do that.
Doesn't
because
scan.
then it doesn't scan the glare from the camera. Doesn't allow it to do that.
Yeah, I'd say cardstock for sure.
Yeah.
Certain colors are better than others. I think I had them on orange and it worked pretty well, but then I did like purple once for one class and it just like doesn't scan well. And it's like I kind of had to do this and that takes a little bit of time. But that we had no issues. None of yours like you had to like hold it closer or anything like that. Sometimes I have one set and I just have kids in, like on the back write period 1 and your name on it. And then I collect them all at the end and then period 2 uses the exact same cards. So then you don't have to print and cut up 5 classes worth of your high school teacher. Awesome.
Awesome, thanks. All right, so the next one, what Sarah, Jen, and Matt have showed us are awesome tools, pretty easy to use, but they can have some bells and whistles to them. So I've known some teachers who they just want something simple, something clear cut. So enter Google Forms. How many people have used Google Forms before? Awesome, so this will be a good review, but I found this very helpful for teachers who they don't really want to use technology, but this can kind of make their life a little bit easier. So it's a simple and effective way to collect and sort data. For my action research class, how many people have taken that class with Deb? I used this Google form to collect qualitative data, and it was awesome. It made charts for me, it made graphs, and all sorts of things like that. So to create a new form, you can go to drive.google.com and just click on New, and then you would hit the button that says Form from the drop-down list. Super easy for that. The nice thing about Google Forms is that we've heard that a lot of these can use only multiple choice questions, but these can use all sorts of, they can do text, they can do short text, you can do full-fledged paragraphs, you can do boxes, you can choose from a list, you can do a Likert scale, you can do grids, so you can do all sorts of different types of questions. So it gives you a little more opportunity to find the right type of question for your class and for your lesson. I've used them as an exit ticket, a comprehension reading check if we're reading The Great Gatsby, and I just want to see, all right, are we getting some of the main ideas of chapter 2? It'll give you the correct answer. It'll give you the feedback that I can download in a Google form or Google Excel sheet. And it gives us all sorts of different options with that. You can collect soft data. The next thing that I'll show you really quick, I just took a screenshot of this. I used this at the very beginning of the year. We talked about hard and soft data while we were reading the book.